This is a quick video demonstration of how to search on the new 2.608 firmware, and I'm going to be showing you some of the features that the new search interface have. This only applies to DVRs that have the 2.608 firmware version. You can find out what version you're running by right-clicking on your DVR, going to the main menu and log in. Of course, I already logged in. Go to Info and go to Version. Here it will display the version, the current version that you're running on your DVR. This new interface has different features that what we used to have before. Now it has the Smart Search, and this applies to certain DVRs. And it's very easy to use. So to start, you just right-click and click Search, and this is the new interface. By default, it's going to come with a 4 layout view. So once you start the search, it will come up with these bars here that represent the channels that you have selected here. So if you see is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all of these yellow colors, or a yellow bar here, represents motion. Everything has a legend. So if you were recording normal, it will show green, and you can actually, uncheck it or check it. If I uncheck the motion, it will disappear. So it depends on how you're recording. The colors here will change, and this, what it represents, is motion. Around this from 0 to all the way to 24 is military time. You can change the view of this layout here by 24-hour, and you can change it by 12-hour, by 12-hour, 30 minutes, and 10 minutes. I will go in detail on that. So it's very simple. It's actually easier than what it used to be before again. And you will find out on the right side, you can choose your month, you can choose your year, and you will see the dates that you have footage. So I'm gonna pick a day. I'm gonna pick yesterday, and you will see that all of a sudden this pops up. So every day it has something different. So make sure that you pick the right month and year, you pick your day, and you pick the layout that you want to display the cameras here. I'm going to start with 4 camera view layout. Okay, and then what I have to do is I just have to pick up the date that I wanted to search for footage. So this 0 will represent 12 a.m. and then 24 will represent 11 p.m. So this is all military time. So let's say I'm gonna pick up something that happened at 1 o'clock, and this bars right here represents the channels. So if I choose the top one, it will be channel 1, because that's what I choose in here as well. So I'm gonna just click somewhere right here, and you will see it will start playing in sync. So if there's any footage at that particular time, you will see that the time is correct, and then the start disappearing after the motion ends on that particular channel. So then I can basically double click on it to see what's going on. I have a microphone in there, and I can go here and double click and see what's going on as well. I can fast forward. You have all of these menus here. You have the pause, you have the stop, and you have the rewind if you wanted to rewind or something like that. And it's very easy to use. Again, I mean, if I'm playing right now, what I can do is I can go slow motion, and you will see here on the corner it says slow 1. When I click present, and it will increase the number and it will go slower. Then I can go to the next option, which is the fast forward, and you can see the time start going faster. You see that someone just passed through it really quick. You can rewind now by having this button right here next to the stop button, and it's basically rewinding right now at the speed that I have this set up here. So I can rewind, click the rewind button, and start clicking how fast I want to rewind or how slow I want to rewind. So as I said, it's very easy to use. Another cool feature that this new firmware, this new search interface has, is the this little button right here, the smart motion or the smart search. Basically, you pick up a day, let's say this, and what you do is you drag your mouse to create a box, and this is an area that I'm selecting for the DVR to look motion at that particular time. So when I drag and make the box, I click the smart search, and the smart search, the DVR, what it's going to do is if you pay attention to the time, you will see that it starts jumping, and what it's doing is looking motion in this particular area that I drew the box. So, and you can see that it's enabled because it's green right now. If I wanted to stop it, just basically click on it on the smart search button, and it will stop playing back. Some other things you will find here, of course, the volume. If you wanted to increase the volume while you're playing on a camera that it has a microphone, you can tell it to play in sync all of the channels. So before you start playing back, you pick up the date, let's say that day and the 13, and I uncheck sync. And what's going to happen is I can select every single channel that I want individually at a specific time. So I'm going to start, let's say, channel 1, I want it at that time, and then I can go and jump to channel 2 at 18, and you see, and this time is completely different than this, and I can go forward, backwards or forwards if I want to. It's very cool, it's very easy to use, it's very intuitive, is brand new interface actually, and you will find it on the 2.608 firmware. Another thing I wanted to show you is the layout. You can play back up to 16 channels on the DVR, only at the DVR, or the local interface. Okay, so basically what you do is you choose the 16 channel view if you wanted to play all of the channels, and also if you choose the 16 channel layout, you cannot play in sync. So you cannot play each channel individually. Only when you have a 4-channel view, you can play all of them in, out of sync. If you can play one individually, or so go back to the 16-channel layout. I can just basically pick the day, pick the layout I want, and then pick the time that is displaying here that motion happens. So let's say at 1 o'clock. And then you will see if the other cameras picked up some motion at that particular time, they're going to start appearing in here. If they do not pick up anything at that particular time, they will not show up. As you see, this just pop up right now because there was motion over there. From here, I can just double click, select an area, and then click the smart search. And basically, for this particular channel, the DVR is going to start looking for something that happened on the area that I drew it here. So right click to stop the recording. Now these other options you will see here, this particular option that you have here, this is to chop the files at a specific time. So let's say you're playing one channel, you're playing camera 1, right? And then you start playing your file, let's say at 3 o'clock, and you saw that something happened at 2:58 all the way through 3. So what you do here is you go and you click the scissors here, and then you see automatically it will start, as soon as you click the scissors, the DVR breaks that file, and then from that point on it's going to start, it's going to cut that file all the way forward. So if you wanted to back up that particular file, what you have to do is you have to stop where you wanted to stop where you wanted to be the end of that file. So I just stopped the playback, and I just click it again, and then you see from 2:58:50 all the way to 2:59:07 p.m. there is a file that I chopped. There's something that happened on that particular time, so I want to back that up. So what I do is I put a flash drive on it, on my DVR, and I click this little floppy disk icon, and there you go, there's the file. Of course there's nothing here because I don't have any flash drive on it, but once you put the flash drive in, it will show up here, and then make sure this is checked, and you click start, and it will back up that particular time that you selected. Okay, so it's very easy to use. I mean, there is a lot of improvements on the search feature, and again, if you wanted to chop something, you play back, something happened at that particular time, and you click the scissors, and this is the start time. So at 2:59:20 p.m. that's my start point that I wanted to start, you know, like separating the file or cutting the file. And I want to, let's say, end right here. So I click it again, and there you go. There's the file that has been chopped. So I go back again to the floppy, and there's the other file that I just cut. It's very simple. I mean, I couldn't be that simpler. Another thing you can do while you're playing back, let's say you pick up, let's say the same time, and then you wanted to see the views of this on a 2-hour period. So you will see from the time that you started, you will see that it's gonna break the hours or break the time by 2 hours. And if you click again, it will break it by an hour. If you click it again, it will break it by 30 minutes. Click it again, back to the 24-hour. So this again, this applies only to DVRs that has the 2.608 firmware. If you have an older DVR that does not have an HDMI, you will not be able to put this firmware in. You know, I hope you like this new feature on their new DVRs, and I hope you like it. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to thank you for viewing.